37.
37 of these guys. Yeah, 37 weeks. It's a lot. Um, Time of rejoicing, time of happiness. It's after Christmas. It's before New Year's. We're in the end run of the year. We thought we'd share some cheer and good spirits with you guys. So that's what we're going to do this evening. So let's see. We need some toasting glasses. We're going to go to our standard cotton and reed purchased glasses here, like right there. Yep. And we're going to go to this box. So this is a 12-year-old Panamanian rum produced by Plantation that is matured in, matured in Arran Scotch casks. And the reason we're pulling this out is because this was one of the final rums in the advent calendar that my wife put together, and we were hugely surprised at this. I did not remember this being this good. The Scotch added a really nice note to it. In fact, when the clue came up that it was matured in an Arran Scotch cask, you would have thought I would have remembered that and would have gone, oh yeah, it's the Plantation Panama. Nope, totally forgot. So I was definitely surprised and happily so with the quality of this rum. So we're going to pour off a little of that. We're going to toast to pleasant surprises and a quick end to 2020 and new beginnings in 2021. That, my friends, is the plan. So
we have a Dana and an Elisa.
Hello, Dana. Hello, Elisa. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for, is this live now?
Yes, it is live now.
I hope it's live now. It doesn't have anything burning, though.
Oh, you're right.
There's
I'll
nothing
fix
burning.
that.
So it can't really be live if it's not burning?
Yes,
I don't know. Can it?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Burning live. Plantation 12-year from Panama with an aging in Arran whiskey casks, Scotch casks. It definitely has a Scotch kind of nose to it. Yep, you can definitely tell.
Hi, David.
It doesn't drink like a Scotch, but this is an amazingly good little rum here. And if you see it, I would definitely recommend picking this up.
Yeah, you could show them what the box looks like.
I could, but I thought I would drink some rum first.
Chris is tending bar tonight. She'll be here shortly.
So this is what this is what it looks like. So black box, purple label, says 12-year on it, and it actually says right above here, Arran whiskey cask maturation. So that's the one you want. This is an uncommonly good rum. It really is. 46.2% alcohol. So it's a little warmer than your usual, and I have no idea on the price tag. Totally forgot. Doesn't matter. We like it. Okay, so it's post-Christmas time, and
it's that lull season where
the lull season where it is. Yeah, I was reading a Facebook post that said, this is the week between Christmas and New Year's. This is the week where you can be your worst self. There's no push to be your best self. It's before the New Year's resolutions all hit. Be a couch. Not even a couch potato. That's too uppity. Just be a couch for the week. I'm thinking I might take them up on that. Yeah, I'll check into work a couple of times this week and got to do some errands that are work related. But other than that, yeah, I think I'm taking it pretty easy this week. And no, that does not mean I'm going to be drinking myself into a stupor, at least not the entire time. So it is post-Christmas, and gee, big surprise. There were some rum and tiki bar related gifts that showed up under the tree for both Star and I this year. So one of the things that I really like are bar mats that are themed in terms of a particular brand of, there we go, now we're live, now we're cooking with gas or fire or something. So we have like these nice little thin bar mats, right, that I put the drinks on when I'm making them. And this one is from Ray and Nephew. I've had this for a while, but it's really hard to find these guys for rums that aren't just sort of your generic well rums like Bacardi and Kraken and that sort of thing. And, you know, I'm kind of looking for a little higher up. And so Star managed to find this one from Appleton Estate, the Appleton Estate Reserve, and I'm really happy about this. This is cool. I love this. This is awesome. The bar was also graced with a microphone that has been sitting here. No, it wasn't graced with a microphone. It's just been sitting here, and I haven't had it on. We have a tradition of opening like one gift Christmas Eve, and then the next morning is the Lollapalooza of all the gifts and that sort of thing. It came from somebody that we couldn't tell who was, some supply company. So clearly somebody had ordered it and sent it to our house, but it was just addressed to Star and Pooch, and we had no idea who sent it to us. Clearly it's someone that knows us particularly well. It's a tiki bar, and what good tiki bar doesn't have? You can't have be a good tiki bar without a puffer fish. And so, yeah, we got a puffer fish. Ta-da! Puffer, he's so cute. Yeah, it's like a little puffer fishy. See, little puffer fish. He does not have a name yet. So yeah, we got a puffer fish for the tiki bar. So now we're a real tiki bar because we have a puffer fish, right? As opposed to the great big giant squid up here. Yeah, the squid up here. This squid, by the way, came to us via Dave Fogel and Gwen Alviani. And they didn't want it in their house anymore, and we said, sure, we'll take a giant squid and we'll have it hanging somewhere. Wait, what? I could attach it to the tentacle. How about this? Will this work? If we just reach over and attach it to the tentacle, how's that? How's that for sound? And now Cthulhu is holding a mic for me. Isn't that awesome? Pretty cool. Well, you know, considering I'm advertising for the guy, this was yet another Christmas present. Yay, fits with Lovecraft Cocktails, the Cthulhu t-shirt. Star bought herself a Christmas gift, so there was a little bit of a windfall at the end of the year, and we decided to spend some money just on ourselves. And so she picked herself up a bottle of scotch that she has been lusting after for several years, ever since tasting it at a friend's wedding anniversary. And so she is now the proud owner of a bottle of Lore Lafroig. I've already cracked this. It was kind of strange because I was trying to do a rum tasting with a friend of mine online, and I'm getting ready to take a sniff of this rum that I have in my glass, and she opens the bottle, and it's just like this wave of peat and salt and just iodine waves across the room, and I'm like, yeah, my rum now smells like scotch. Okay. So yeah, it's very, very peaty. We were introduced to Japanese whiskeys several years back by our friend Zach, who used to be the bartender at Magnolia's on King Street in Old Town, and he would make Star this wondrous drink, Hong Kong cocktail a la Henry, something along those lines. I'm thinking Henry Craddock, but I can't remember the exact name of it. But and we have had Japanese whiskey cocktails over at King's Ransom on a couple of occasions. Before the COVID. Hong Kong a la Thomas. Jerry Thomas. Right. Okay, got it. Hong Kong a la Thomas. And so we thought, gee, maybe it would be good to actually have some Japanese whiskey on the bar. We also were tuned into a particular form of Japanese oak, whose name I can't pronounce, by our friends over at Angel's Envy. They recommended that we buy one of their bottles of Angel's Envy that is cast in this particular wood, and we would love to do that if anybody happens to have a spare $3,000 lying around. I picked up a bottle of the Shin. So the Shin is a malt whiskey that is Japanese oak finished Mizunara. This guy is 48% alcohol by volume. It is a blended malt whiskey, and we don't actually know exactly where the whiskey is from. It has been blended in Japan, and kind of hit it out of the park. That's a really nice, kind of sweet whiskey without being too oaky. Star really likes it, so yay, awesome. She found a rocks glass from Appleton Estate, which you cannot read unless I do something like this. Yes, Appleton Estate Rocks Glass. Been watching for a while, you know that we like Baku rum, and Baku makes a mug, has a custom-made mug for them, and it's really hard to get here in Virginia because Baku can't ship their alcohol to Virginia, so they can't ship their mugs to Virginia. So we had to get it through eBay. So, yay! And then, surprise, surprise! One of my oldest and dearest friends on the planet, he and his wife were in San Diego this year, on one of the few travel trips that could actually be managed this year, and they went down to the Valley High in San Diego, which is a classic old tiki haunt, and they happen to have their custom mug, the Valley High mug. And if you may remember that some weeks back, probably months back at this point, I was poo-pooing the fact that when I made the Valley High cocktail, I did not in fact have a Valley High mug. And now I have a Valley High mug from Valley High. So, yay, awesome. It's been a lot of fun. Stuff, things, materialism and consumerism, helping the economy. Yay. Pooch, you are talking way too much and not drinking enough, right? That's
Yep.
what you're all saying? You're saying, shut up, mix a drink. Yay. We've got Andrea, we've got Brooke, we've got David and Chris, we've got Elisa, Amanda, others I'm forgetting. Dana. Somebody else. Is Benita on? Benita's usually on by now. I don't know. But anyway, so, hey, hello. We are going to make some drinks now. Colleen, of course. Right. So there's this website that I go on periodically looking for inspiration. It's called Kindred Cocktails. I just hop on there, type in some search terms, look around, see what's there. So I found this cocktail that goes by the name of Dr. Opps. And so the story goes, a husband was making a drink for his wife and reached for a bottle and missed and got the wrong bottle. And so made this drink, and it turned out to be really, really tasty. Okay, so sure, I'm willing to give it a try. We'll go ahead and make that cocktail and see what it's like. And this is clearly a riff off of tiki drinks in the sense of like the name, the Dr. Opps, comes from like the Dr. Funk or something along those lines. And it has sort of classic tiki ingredients like plus there's rum, orange curacao, but the difference here is that we have Carpano Bianco. So we have an aromatized vermouth sort of thing, an aromatized wine going into this. And that is what the Carpano Bianco is. It's essentially a vermouth. So we're going to do that. So we're going to put some alcohol in here, we're going to put some ice in here, and then we're going to stir this guy up. We're stirring it because there's basically nothing but alcohol in this drink. So there's no juice or anything, there's no syrup, so it's not, you don't have competing densities, so you don't have to shake it really hard in order to get the thing to mix and emulsify. So as a consequence, we're just going to stir this guy. So what does it take? It takes an ounce and a half of the Carpano Bianco, and my Carpano Bianco is here. Carpano Bianco, I had a fairly large bottle of it, and what I did is I transferred it to these smaller bottles, and so there's much less oxidation because there's much less contact for each individual bottle, and that helps keep the Carpano better, longer. I also store it in the refrigerator. If you see a bottle of vermouth sitting out on the back of a bar with a layer of dust on it, yeah, do not order a cocktail from that bar that uses that vermouth, because vermouth is a wine. It goes bad over time, and it doesn't take very long if you're just leaving it out at room temperature. So, all sorts of cautions there. That's stored in the refrigerator, light levels of oxygen contact with it, so it should keep fairly well. So that goes there. That's 3/4 of an ounce Husser's rum, 3/4 of an ounce of orange curacao. We're going to go with the dry curacao. As you know, that's generally my choice. Pierre Ferrand. And yes, if you've been watching, you know that I pronounce that name differently pretty much every week. So there we go. I never took French. I don't claim to speak French. I don't claim to speak with a French accent. We need some bitters in this. And the bitters that it calls for are Bittermans, and they are the Wakalotl bitters. And it calls for 12 to 14 drops of this bitters, of this well-sealed bitters container. So we're going to go off screen with this, where it's going to get run under some water, or my butch is just going to rip it open because she can. We're going to add ice to this. There we go. I love my wife. Dun dun dun. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. That is a lot of bitters. Bitters? 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 And then we're going to put some ice in this. All right, such. As long as you are above the level of the liquid with your ice, you don't actually need to put any more ice than that in there. In fact, doing so is pretty much don't do anything. You want to make sure that as the ice melts, it doesn't fall below the level of the liquid. Pardon?
It's not on camera.
It's not all on camera. Oh no. You mean this?
Yeah.
It's not on camera. Well, phew. So this is pretty awkward. Can I do that? No, that blocks my face. How about if I do this? There we go. Dun dun dun. Put this over here. Now, again, not having made this cocktail a bunch, I'm still trying to figure out exactly, how long this needs to be stirred for. But you can always stop, give it a little taste.
We need a repeat of the bitter.
So that's pretty nice, actually. That needs to be a little colder. We're going to get a little more dilution off of that. The bitter is the second blue bottle. There you go. We're going to put that in front of the camera so you can tell. Bittermans does really nice bitters. I like their bitters. Yep, that'll work. All right, and then what are we going to do? We're going to put this into a glass. We're going to use these guys that have the nifty little legs on them. Now, I've used these previously, and they are not the most stable of things, despite the fact that the ads for them all say, oh, multiple legs are more stable. No, they're not. Julep strainer here. Stick this guy in, and we're just going to pour that in here, like such. Ta-da. Should probably have double strained this to make a clearer beverage. So there you go. There's the beverage. It's a nice color to it. Yeah, it's a little brown. And then we are going to hand that to the wife. Just going to take a little sip.
It's quite pleasant.
Oh, it was quite pleasant. Oh, yes, quite pleasant. I think I should be adjourning to the table with this drink, and you shall not get a taste of it. Okay, maybe I will.
It is not my favorite, but it is quite pleasant.
Well, yeah, but your favorites usually have, like, cream of coconut in them, and, apricot brandy, and lots and lots of simple syrup, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, well, it might act. Look at this. This is a pretty little cocktail.
It
Look
is.
at that. Hello. Cheers. Oh, that is quite lovely. It is a little spirit forward. The Carpano Bianco really comes through. It's a vermouth forward drink that is bolstered by the pussers. I could also see playing around with rums with this and getting very different flavors. You don't want to go with something that is going to give you a really hefty funk to it. So I would stay away from, say, the St. Lucian or the Jamaican rums or any kind of overproofs. Because if you do that, it will obliterate the flavor of the vermouth. It does have a certain sweetness to it, which is interesting. The sweetness is all coming from the vermouth. There's nothing else in there that would be contributing that sweetness. I think I'm a pretty big fan of this. The Dr. Opps, when I was reading the description and this is a happy mistake that was made, turned out to be delicious. Maybe not delicious, but that's pretty tasty. Maybe if we add like a little floral component, this will make David happy. That in there. See, that's even. You can't see the mint. There's no way I can get it good. There you go. You can kind of get the angle, right? See, there you get a little mint in there. How does that work? Oh, the aromatics from the mint. Actually, that's really helpful. The Mole Bitters are a really nice complement to that. I'm going to say adding the mint leaf is probably a must. That really changes the drink. Next drink. So this is Spirit Forward drink. The next one is a little less Spirit Forward, a little more daiquiri-esque inspired. This also comes to us from Kindred Cocktail, and the original drink was called, what is it, an Autumn Morning? Autumn's Dawn. Autumn's Dawn, that's what it's called. And I was like, I think I want to play around with this a little bit. It actually calls for maple syrup as a sweetener. And I was just like, I see the maple really belonging to that autumn element, but I'm thinking I'm a little more post-Christmas wintry. So we're going to ditch the maple and we're going to go with one of my spiced syrups and use that instead. We're going to play around a little with some other ingredients as well. So the original cocktail requires applejack, requires a ginger liqueur, and what is the name of the ginger liqueur? Domaine de Canton, something along those lines is the ginger liqueur that they call for. We're going to swap that out because I happen to have this wonderful bottle of ginger lime liqueur here, Garofalo, that was given to me by our friends Brooke and Andrea. And we're going to use that as it is not a very pronounced ginger flavor, but I just want a hint of that ginger to accompany the apple. So we're going to have some ginger going with the apple, but a mild ginger. We're going to have the spices from the simple syrup, and then just a little lemon juice to brighten it up. And that'll bring that drink all together. And that is going to be a shaken cocktail. So we are going to start with the ½ ounce of the simple syrup. Simple spice syrup is here. I can tell that this is a Demerara syrup that is spiced because it has my cinnamon stick in it, which is how I tell the Demerara from the other. All right, so we need, what, a ½ ounce of this? ½ ounce. Normally requires a ½ ounce of maple syrup. I've seen some indicators in the comments that this is a little sweet, but I'm also using a slightly higher proof applejack than normally required. So we're going to hope that this balances out okay. So that goes there. We also have the ginger lime liqueur, and that has a little more tartness. So again, going with the full ½ ounce of the syrup should be just fine there. All right, lemon juice, ½ ounce lemon juice. Shake this up. This was squeezed like, what is it? Almost 8 o'clock, so less than an hour ago. We're gonna dribble this all over my hand. Yep, ½ ounce lemon juice, fresh squeezed. We're gonna go ½ ounce of the ginger liqueur. Really smells gingery. I mean, it's hard to describe other than, yeah, it smells like ginger and lime, and it says ginger lime on the bottle. So, it smells like what it is. So ginger lime, ½ ounce. And then we're going to go 2 ounces of the Laird's. Laird's Applejack 86, so 43% alcohol. If you were tuned in last time, we used this last time, and I really, really enjoyed it. So we're going to go ahead and do that again. You pull the top off of this and you immediately get that scent of apple. The last cocktail we made with this came across as being like a golden delicious apple flavor, which was really just very, very nice. It doesn't taste like golden delicious apples, just straight up, so it does morph a little bit on the apple flavor, depending on what sorts of things you put with it. So there you go, 2 ounces of the Applejack, and ½ an ounce of the ginger liqueur, ½ ounce of lemon juice, and a ½ ounce of maple syrup, or in this case, our spiced simple syrup. All right, so this gets lidded and shaken with some ice. again. Ice coming here. If you leave your ice scoop in with your ice, the ice will in fact melt to the scoop, which that's no fun. There we go. Can do that. This time we'll store that outside of the ice box. There we go. We will shake this now. How y'all doing? Did you guys have a good Christmas? Was it nice? Were you able to get in touch with family? Were you doing Christmas with family? We had multiple Zoom sessions with various people, both family, friends, chosen family, blood family, etc. Family by law, family by marriage, family by family. But other than that, it was really kind of nice to be at home on our own schedule. We took it so slow, and we did so nothing that was formal for Christmas. I mean, we didn't even clean off the dining room table. We sat in front of the TV without the TV being on, with the fireplace over to the left, and ate dinner on the couch because we could, and it felt really nice. It was just a nice, pleasant, relaxing Christmas. Not to say I didn't miss everybody, but still. All right, we're going to shake this up, and we're going to go and try this, what I'm going to call Winter's Dawn. All right, nice and cold. Frost on our mixing tin. That comes out. All right, we are going to just pour this. Actually, we're going to go ahead and strain this. Sorry. The instructions are not complete on how to serve this, but there is a recommended garnish. So we are going to strain this, but we're not going to strain it twice. Right. We're going to go ahead and use the Appleton rocks glass. All right, I'm going to take a sip of this because I want to know whether the dilution is right, whether I need to put ice in that glass. I think a little ice would probably be quite fine with that. So I am going to, and that's probably just because I've got the higher proof lairds. So we're going to just do some cracked ice here. Give that a quick stir. Test that. Yep, that was right. The apple really comes through now. Final touch on this is a flaming or flamed orange peel. So the way that is generally done is you do a fresh cut off the orange, and if you've got the orange peel correct, you can just take an open flame and squirt this essentially through the open flame. But this orange peel is it's a little old. I cut it before we started broadcasting, but I am going to add a small torch up here. Usually you use a match. We're gonna do this way because this is what I have on hand, and I can't find my my other torch. So we're gonna go here. So let's hope this works. So this goes over, and then you just squirt the orange, and what it does is atomizes some of the orange oil, burns it up. You get a little spark on that, which is what we're looking for, which you can't see because we're too low. There we go. Get a little spark, and we drop that in there. I'm going to heat that orange peel just a tad. Turn that off. It smells pretty yummy. It smells a little bit like burnt orange peel, but it smells pretty yummy actually. Give that another quick stir to incorporate the orange oil. And then we're going to take a sip of this. Sweet, ginger, apple. This is exactly what you would expect from those ingredients. This is like it's like spiced apples or spiced applesauce. In which case, but it's spiced applesauce with a kick. So, you know, we're going to have to fling this past the wife and see what she thinks about it. I am going to garnish this with just a lemon wheel. I'm just going to stick this up here and do that with it. So you can give that a try. Ooh. Oh, nice, nice.
Yeah.
So, somewhere, like right here, there was supposed to be one of these.
Oh!
So, Dear Star was not left out on the Tiki Bar goodies. And as a consequence, she got these wondrous things. Here, this is a cocktail stir. Dun, dun, dun. It's got a star on it. So that's pretty awesome, right? Star, right? Yeah, you think that's awesome. It lights up, baby. So light up star drink stirrers, and she's got them in multiple colors. She's got like rainbow colored of these guys. So there you go. She's gonna hit herself in the face with her cocktail stirrer that's all lit up because, you know, it's lit, so she can't see it. It's lit for my wife who's going to get lit.
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yeah. Chris has a question for you.
When do you know you have enough varieties of bitters on your bar? I'll let you know when I reach that point. Although there's about a quarter of my bar that is taken up with various, not just bitters, but various other tinctures and that sort of thing, especially for tiki drinks, where you'll have tonga mix and various spice mixes and various combinations of things like grapefruit juice and allspice dram mixed together and all that sort of thing. All of those things together probably take up about a quarter of my bar space that's up here. So yeah, I have this really cool little chest. It's about yay long and about that tall. It just has its lid parked open, and the bitters are all stuffed in there. But I mean, and also I'm a cocktail nerd, and so I have a whole bunch of bitters. But your question is, how do you know when you have enough variety of bitters on the bar? Here's the real answer to that question. Do you have Angostura? Do you have Peychaud's? Do you have an orange bitters? If you have those three bitters, you will be able to make 90% of everything that you would ever want to make with bitters. And anything beyond that is you're playing with bitters and playing with different flavors of bitters just to see what that adds to a given cocktail. But those three will pretty much cover you. Hopefully nothing is going to go away here. I'm wiping my trackpad because I have crushed ice melting on top of it, and that's kind of not what I want.
I gotta show this because you can see that this lights up, but what you may not see is that it's glowy along the stem.
Yeah. Yep. So there's little bubbles in it, and the light is actually filtering through those little bubbles. It's very cool. Gwen, mind blown. Is that for the star swizzle sticks, or for the fact that a quarter of my bar is taken up with bitters? We need more bar space. Yes, you do. You need more bar space. I don't care how much bar space you have. You need more. Yes, especially on Molly. I don't know what you're doing. You need more bar space on Molly. Do you really need to be able to like see where you're going? You know, on that top deck. I think that you could just convert that to a bar. That'll work. That'll be, navigation, look down. Yeah, we're pretty much on course. Put some more ice in that shaker. See, that works, right? That works. You're going to clean the basement so we can have more bar room. I'm hoping that is being told to Chris from David and not asking me, because no, I'm not cleaning your basement. Because I'm here and you're in Kansas, so no. Unless you mean Molly's basement, which is the bilges, and I don't care where you are, I'm not cleaning those out. That's your job. That's boat ownership stuff. Peychaud's bitters are primarily, the place that you will see them always used is in the Sazerac cocktail. They are bitters that was created in New Orleans. The original apothecary shop is still there in the French Quarter, and the shop has been taken over and revamped, and they now sell antique firearms and bladed weapons and old currency in the shop. So it's vintage, that. So, you can always take a pilgrimage to the French Quarter. Well, not always, not in 2020. You can take a pilgrimage to the French Quarter, visit the Peychaud's pharmacy, walk in and walk out with an antique cutlass or something and go, I've been to the home of Peychaud's and all I got was this sword. Yeah, so there you go. Yeah, been there, done that. Haven't come home with the sword yet. Yet. I'm still working on this first cocktail, and I'm still like, wow, for an oops, that's really nice. It is. You do have to like vermouth, though, in order to like that cocktail. The Pussers does work with it. I am eager to try other rums with it. So there you have the quote-unquote applesaucy drink. Yeah, that is Winter's Dawn, which is a play off of the Autumn's Dawn out of Kindred Cocktails. And the Autumn's Dawn was created in 2011 at the Greenland Cafe in Salem, Massachusetts. And the Winter's Dawn was created in 2020 at Lovecraft Cocktails Bar, right here, right now. There you go. All right. Ta-da. 2 drinks. We're working our way through the week between Christmas and New Year's. We're having a blast. We're taking it easy. We're going through some of the Christmas gifts that arrived to help the bar. Earlier this year, we did a rearranging of our not cocktail books, recipe books, cookbooks. That's the word I'm looking for. Cookbooks. Got rid of a whole bunch of them, farmed them out to people, and there were occasional cookbooks where I'm going somewhere with this story. Just hold on. I'm going somewhere with this. Occasionally, there were more than one individual that wanted a given recipe book, cookbook. And so, like the true entrepreneurs that we were, we said, well, bribe us. And whoever provides the best bribe gets the book. So we got bribes of things like cookies and other baked goods. And then Susie Hazelow came through and said, well, I really want this particular cookbook. And I will send you cookies, but I also have this homemade peony syrup. Would that be of interest to you? Would that be something that maybe you could use on your bar? So clearly she got the cookbook, and we got a jar of her peony syrup. So the peony syrup has peony tea, sugar, pectin, and lemon juice in it. And I just ripped the tape off of this earlier today. I have not had a taste of it, have no idea what this tastes like. I'm expecting it to be largely botanical. It does not look dark enough to have been a black peony tea, like a black tea that has been flavored with peony. It looks to be like a tisane that has actually been made with peony. We're going to take a quick taste of this and see if this is going to work the way I think it will. Definitely sweet, definitely flowery. That will work nicely for what I have in mind for this cocktail, because I am going to do a custom cocktail with this. Second ingredient that is coming to us from this Christmas is a lovely bottle of, oh my gosh, more bitters. Who knew this was going to be a bitter episode? Well, it kind of fits for ending 2020, right? 2020 has been a pretty bitter year, so we're going to end this featuring bitters. All right, so maybe I should go back to the first cocktail and add some bitters to it. Maybe I'll do that. Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. All right, oh, you could. So our dear friend, friend of Lovecraft Cocktails, Mr. Zachary Faden, who contributed four different rums to the rum advent calendar that we had, 3 of which were from the Kohana Distillery in Hawaii, which those were pretty amazing rums, especially the last one, which, wow, that kind of blew my socks off. So Zach was bartender at Magnolia's Cafe when we first met him. Now, we'd actually had drinks from him previously at a restaurant called Rogue 24, Rogue 21?
Rogue 24.
Rogue 24. But we hadn't realized who he was at the time. We didn't actually meet the bartender there. It was only after having drinks from him at the upstairs bar at Magnolia's that we realized that this was the same bartender. And so he wanted to take this Christmas to commemorate where we first met and first became friends, and as a consequence sent us a bottle of Magnolia Bitters. Yeah, so bitters with magnolia flavor or flavored water glycerin, magnolia, gentian, angelica, and orange peel. So magnolia is going to be the dominant flavor here in this bitters. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a gin cocktail, and we're going to use the magnolia bitters, and we are going to use some lemon juice, and we're going to use the peony syrup, because wow, that's kind of sweet. So we're going to need to have some lemon syrup in there. We're going to call this the Promise of Spring. And I promise I will continue to work on it if this first cocktail doesn't work out right. One of the things I was thinking that we would do is we would try a pretty heavily botanical gin to start with. That's going to add all sorts of strange flavors to this, and we'll see how well that does. We're essentially going to do a gin sour using these ingredients, and we'll see how this comes out. I'm going to taste some water, and then we're going to shake this. All right, so we're going to start with the peony syrup, and I am going to go 3/4 of an ounce of the peony syrup. 3/4 of an ounce. Now, the peony syrup has pectin in it, which I was not expecting. So this is going to be a little interesting, because last time I tried working with a syrup that had pectin in it, when I added ice, the darn thing sort of froze up on me, and it was like pouring a gel out, and it was like glop, glop. So we're hoping that that doesn't happen. I'm going to go with the 3/4 of an ounce of lemon juice. It's maybe a little on the tart side, because there is a little lemon in the peony juice, but that was pretty sweet. We're going to go 2 ounces of gin. And for this, I am going to go with the botanical Uncle Val's. Well, this is a heavily botanical gin, and if I went a full 2 ounces of this, all we would taste is the Uncle Val's. So we're going to go 1 ounce of the Uncle Val's. Then we're going to ask my wife to hop up and run to the freezer and grab me the aviation gin. So that we can lengthen this a little bit with a different gin. And how do I know this? I only know this by trial and error and having tried Uncle Val's and using Uncle Val's in various cocktails, like a really bad version of the Singapore Sling. I realized that the flavor profile of Uncle Val's is so strong that you really do need to lengthen it out a little bit with some other gin, for the most part. Unless you're drinking it straight, in which case it's great. It's just very, very botanically. The aviation gin, on the other hand, is a very clean gin, and so this is going to help us not be overwhelmingly botanical. And this is coming out of the freezer too, which means it's going to add some cold to this. So I might be able to tell what the pectin is going to do ahead of time. All right, this, there we go. Now nice and closed. What are we doing here? I'm going to stir this around just to, okay, a little thickened mouthfeel. I'm not going to load this up with a ton of ice. Because the gins are cold, I don't need too much cooling on this, and I really am afraid that the pectin is going to seize up. So we're going to try this. Give this a quick shake. Just the very beginnings of frost on there, and then we're going to stop it. Take a look in there. Oh, we're doing fine. Come back here. Do this again. There we go. So I looked in there to see what was happening, to make sure that we were still liquefied and there wasn't too much pectin in this. If there was too much pectin, like I said, this would just seize up on us, and that would not be entirely good. All right, so I'm just going to pour this straight in. We're not even going to mess around with anything else. So we're going to pour that straight in. Ta-da! There is our first attempt at the promise of spring. Sure, let's go even more botanical. Let's add some mint to that. Mint and gin, I don't know. Not sure how I feel about that. Should probably add a little more ice to it and lengthen that. Here we do. This is our first attempt at the promise of spring. The gin and the lemon juice are counteracting the coloration of the peony syrup. So that's kind of odd. You would expect this color to come through, and it's not. And I'm looking down here, and it's like, it's not like there's pectin left in the bottom of this glass.
No.
So our coloration is just going away. I'm curious as to why that. Sniff that. Sniff. Wait, what am I doing? I didn't put the Magnolia Bitters in. Oh. Well, I could throw this back in the shaker. Or I could just add a couple of dashes of Magnolia Bitters to the top of this. Let me go 4 dashes there. Oh, it changes the smell quite a bit. Ooh, yeah. Give this a little bit of a stir. I suppose I could use the straw. Here's a metal straw. It works just fine. Metal straw, not from Surfside Sips. That's because they do glass straws and they do them extremely well.
They do.
Wow, Uncle Val's really comes through. Ooh. But there's definitely.
I like that. It's flowery.
It's flowery, right? So there's no doubt that is Uncle Val's botanical gin in there. But unlike cocktails that I've made with Uncle Val's in the past, where all I have tasted is the Uncle Val's, this has some wondrous side notes to it coming from the peony and the magnolia. So I'm pretty much a fan of that. I might cut back the Uncle Val's a little bit further. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this same drink, but I'm not going to use Uncle Val's. I'm going to use a different gin because Star is currently going gaga over this new gin that we have. So this is an Italian gin distilled in Italy. Fusinche? I don't know, right? It has some bergamot in it, which I think is pretty awesome because I really like the flavor of bergamot. Sort of a take on an orange flavor. And this gin is really quite lovely. And so we're going to do the same drink again, but we're going to go full on with the Italian gin. And this time, we're going to show off some Surfside Sip straws. So you've seen probably in the past that we have had bamboo straws, right? So the glass bamboo straws, like this guy. So this is orange in color, or an amber in color. And is a little thinner diameter than some of our other Surfside Sip straws. So I'm loving that. And then the Tentacle Straws, the Straw Thulus. So we had one, and we really liked it. It's this sort of pale green, right? You remember seeing this guy, right? Yep.
And then you got the blue one.
And then I've got a blue one over here, which is just flat blue. And then we have this dark blue tentacled straw. Yep. And I wanted them. I asked for Straw Thulus in a variety of different colors and sizes. So we have different colors. This one's green, clear green glass, again with the suckers on it. And then I got a white one with a blue top on it. See, it's got the orange suckers. Again, more Straw Thulu. And then. Turns out that if you're good at glass blowing, you can create little animals and that sort of thing. And you can attach them to straws. And so what we have is a blue straw. It looks like this, right? But on the end, you ready for this? You ready? You sure? You're ready. The reveal. Ta-da! He's looking at you. Dun dun dun. We've got a little octopus on our straw. Isn't that awesome? Look, he's so cute. He's so awesome. Ta-da. Looking at you, kid. He's looking at you. So you put this in the drink and he's staring right at you. I didn't think about that. Don't drink me. Oh my God. So that's going to be a little scary, but we're going to use him anyway because, yeah, it's awesome. All right. So we're going to try this one more time. You liked that.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to try it
I'm
with
going to leave
this.
it here so I don't finish it because I want to taste them side by
Right,
side.
right. So we're going to, there's the other glass. Right, so we're going to take, not that glass, we're going to do shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. There we go. All right, what did I say? I said we're going to start with the peony. 3/4 of an ounce of the peony, right? Hopefully people are checking me on this. 3/4 of an ounce? I did say 3/4 of an ounce. Good, good. I'm also going to remember to put the bitters in ahead of time and put them in when I shake it. Give that a try. Lemon juice, same thing, 3/4 of an ounce. Those of you that have been watching and listening and paying attention will note that this is my preferred daiquiri proportion. 2 ounces of spirit, 3/4 of an ounce of citrus, 3/4 of an ounce of sweet. And that is sort of my base. A couple of dashes. I did 4 dashes, right? 4? I did 4.
Yeah.
So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4 dashes of the Magnolia Bitters. And then we go 2 ounces of gin. How do I lose a jigger when it's sitting right next to me? There you go. I don't. It's sitting right next to me. All right. Again, here, Italian gin. It's got bergamot amongst the other various forms of infusement that go into making a gin. So there's 2 ounces of that. Star really likes this. I mean, very, very clean gin. It does have some interesting flavors. It does not taste like a pine cone, like some other gins might do. You could also make this with a straight up London dry gin, and it would give a slightly different profile. I think the juniper might be a little too heavy for that, for this cocktail, but we'll see. Because I plan on making a lot of these between now and spring, I think. All right. I'm a little more confident in the mouthfeel of this and how it's going to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and put some ice in there. Not worry about it so much. Okay, now it's nice and cold. I could shake it a little more because I knew that I didn't have to worry about it seizing up on me. Choop, choop. That. Oh, that does have a delightful smell. What about the green one? Ooh, I like that one. So we're going to take this Surfside Sip Straw. We're going to stick that in there. And there you go. Here is a second attempt at the promise of spring. And I'm going to take a sip of this before the wife gets here. You know, that's delightful. But I think I might actually prefer the one with Uncle Val's. The flower notes are all at the back end here, and they're a little more upfront on the Uncle Val's. Because the front end is all taken up with the Uncle Val's botanical.
Yeah, I think it's better in Uncle Val's.
And you get the flowery notes at the back end. Yeah. Both of these, they end very similar to one another. This just, this one feels a little hollow up front because of the really clean gin.
Yeah, because it's...
But this...
Uncle Val's usually beats everything else over the head.
And it doesn't in this one.
And it doesn't in this one. It stands up to things. So.
Right. But again, that's Uncle Val's half and half with aviation.
Right.
Right. And I think, you know...
but I'm fine with drinking this.
Are you? Okay. All right. So we'll probably play around with that. Let me see this a little bit. Sorry.
That glass looks... The straw looks gorgeous with the... carry it over here.
It does. The lemon might be a little pronounced in there. I might want to back off on the lemon just a tad. I don't know. No, that kind of works. I think I want like one more flavor in there. I might, with the cleaner gin, I might want to up the bitters. So if she were to bring that back, I think what I'd do is I would take a few more of the bitters and drop them in. David says, the green goes well with the promise. Yeah, I do kind of like that all coming together with the great big sprig of the mint and the green of the straw. I'm not so sure about the whole promissory aspect of that with a tentacle reaching out toward your face. That might be a little scary, but we will. Yeah, but those bitters are quite nice. I'm going to have to thank Zach for those bitters. That's also definitely a bitter profile that I did not have, given all of the bitters that I have. I did not have that sort of flowery scented bitters. That is really quite nice. I think that makes a difference. Wow. It is amazing how just adding a few dashes of bitters will really change a cocktail. And in this case, I think it has. I really actually like that much better with a couple of dashes of bitters on top of it. And Star is shaking her head yes. So yeah, so there we go. We have 3 cocktails. We had the Dr. Opps coming from Kindred Cocktails. We had the Autumn's Dawn, which I modified into the Winter's Dawn. And then the last is a Lovecraftian original that we're calling the Promise of Spring, that is coming to us because of the generosity of friends of ours that gifted us with some Peony Syrup and some Magnolia Bitters. So thank you, Susie. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, everyone that continues to sign in to Lovecraft Cocktails and watch me sitting behind a bar playing with alcohol and spirits and ice and weird fruit purees, putting into the cocktails and seeing what they do, and waving about weird straws with squids and octopi on them. I love doing this. This is so much fun, and I'm glad you were able to tune in. Thank you for taking time out in what is the final week of 2020 to tune in. Hopefully 37 of these have provided you some end of enjoyment and fun over the year that we have had. We will next see you in 2021. Thank you again for watching. Share the video, like the Lovecraft Cocktails page, do whatever you like. Send me a note on how you think I should best improve this, or you're doing great. We're enjoying watching you flub yourself all over the place every Sunday evening and stumble over your words and that sort of thing. And, you know, when all else fails, I'm just going to blame it on Cthulhu because, you know, if the Elder God is what your bar is sort of patterned after, you can expect some bizarre things to happen on the bar. So there we go. That seems like a fitting note to end the 2020 broadcast on. May the year of Cthulhu pass us by and have a better 2021. So love you all. Thanks for tuning in, and Lovecraft Cocktails signing out for 2020. We'll see you in a brand new year. Be safe out there New Year's Eve. Take care of one another, and see you later.